Hey guys, it's Andy from the Fantasy Footballers podcast. I'm back here on YouTube answering some more listener questions from the show. This one comes in from David in Utah. He says, like me, he likes Arian Foster, which is great. I love Arian Foster this year. He says where he's drafting, he always ends up drafting Foster first, and then he ends up staring down DeAndre Hopkins in the next few rounds as his top wide receiver. And so he loves Hopkins as well. Is it a hindrance to have both of these guys on his team and as his 1 and number 2 picks? It's kind of interesting because I think I've run into that in a couple of my mocks in my MFL 10 leagues. It's a tough decision for me because I'm not really confident about that offense in Houston being anything special. You know, the quarterback situation there is not good. But independently, I love Hopkins and I love Foster. Generally, I wouldn't want to pair two guys up like that unless they were on a prolific offense. You know, you're talking Eddie Lacy and Jordy Nelson. I'm okay with something like that. In this situation, I'd probably try to avoid it. But if I had to, I'd do it and just, you know, realize that if they have a stinker of a week, I'm going to have a stinker of a week as well. And that's kind of the problem. You know, you need running backs on winning teams or teams that are competing. You need wide receivers on teams with good quarterbacks. I think Hopkins is going to perform fantasy-wise either way. He didn't have very much at quarterback last year, and now Andre Johnson's gone. And so Hopkins is supremely talented. I don't have any problem with either guy. And so, you know, if you've got the stomach for it, go ahead and press on. But that's kind of my perspective on those situations. So he also says, thanks, #FootClan. We're thankful for all the Foot Clan listeners out there. If you haven't listened to the Fantasy Footballers podcast, I encourage you to open your iTunes. We're also on Stitcher. We're on Android. We're everywhere. Just search for Fantasy Footballers. Subscribe to the show. We're going to help you all season long in kind of taking you where you need to be in terms of your fantasy football league and maybe surprising some people this year, bringing home the trophy. So if you have a question of your own, you can go to the site, thefantasyfootballers.com, click the Submit a Question button, and I'll catch you on the next question.